It's another big one for the San Antonio Spurs. And yes, it's still a preseason. However, we have learned a lot about our San Antonio Spurs during this stretch. Tonight will be no different when we take on the Indiana Pacers, another playoff team that has looked really good in the preseason. What's good, Spurs Digest family? I'm Bryan Colbert Jr. here with another pregame show as we are just days away from the regular season. And preseason is not always super important. You don't always get to see your stars. However, these games for the Spurs, because they are so young, because there are so many question marks about depth and how these rotations are going to go, and because we're coming off of some major injuries, these games are very, very important, especially when it's against a playoff team that's just as locked in the preseason as they are in the season. We're going to get into the Indiana Pacers and how our Spurs can find success against them. But first, y'all know what to do. Make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't yet. Make sure you hit that doorbell to be notified every single time we post if we haven't yet, because we know y'all have been locked in, y'all have been supporting us, and we continue to grow. So if you're new to this page, welcome. Make sure to do those things because we are giving y'all Spurs content each and every day. My guys on this squad have been killing it, and it is all because the Spurs fans deserve it. Our Spurs Digest family deserves it. So let's get right into tonight's game, because the Indiana Pacers have also been doing their thing in the preseason. So far, they are undefeated and had a tough one against the Thunder. Now, we know during the preseason that the NBA injury reports do not update, so we are not completely sure who is all playing tonight. And we do know if we do see people play, it's going to be limited minutes. Wemby's played right around 16 minutes during the preseason so far, but it's been great to see how effective he has been. But somebody else that has been effective in very few minutes has been Pascal Siakam. And that is somebody we're going to face tonight. And he is somebody that I am really looking to see how we're able to guard a guy like that, how we're able to defend a guy like that. Is Wemby the person that's going to be on him, or is one of our other guys going to step up to the task of defending him? I think it's going to be a great test for our guys, but also a great test for our young guys, because Indiana's bench has been a big reason why they've been able to win these preseason games, because they have guys that do know how to get it done. They have guys that do know how to score and that have had NBA minutes, but are playing, of course, much more significant minutes now that is preseason. And one of those big guys outside of Pascal Siakam, who we've really seen, just play well during the preseason, much like we've seen Wemby play well, is a guy in Jarris Walker, where he'll start for them, but he's not playing as if he is going to start during the season. Like, he is playing full-on minutes. He played 31 minutes against the Oklahoma City Thunder, and it wasn't just his 10 points that added value. It was the 7 assists. It was the 8 rebounds. He is one of those guys that gets it done in a lot of different ways. He's really an undersized forward. And to me, I think it's an excellent matchup for our bench when you look at a guy like David Jones-Garcia, who is also an undersized guard and who's also trying to carve out a role for himself. Like, he has looked really, really good in the games he has played for the San Antonio Spurs so far. 20 points off the bench, getting to the line, rebounding as well, assisting. Like, these two very much play a role off the bench in the preseason that I'm sure they're not going to play for their teams during the season. However, Jarris is a guy that will play minutes for the Pacers. David Jones-Garcia, I'm not completely sure yet. He's looked great. It's been fun to watch him now. It's been fun to watch him in the summer league, but with how deep we are at the forward position, I am not completely sure where he finds a role. However, the Spurs, they're going to find ways to get the most out of guys, and they don't care if you were drafted. They don't care where you were drafted. They don't care about none of that, what school you went to. If you can hoop, we're going to find ways to get you minutes. So two guys that I'm very interested to see go head to head. I think the success of these two will really probably decide how this game goes, because, again, I'm not seeing a lot of minutes from our starters. I'm not expecting to see a lot of minutes from our starters, but I don't really want to see it, right? Like, I want to see David Jones-Garcia get minutes right now. I want to see Harrison Ingram get minutes. I want to see Carter Bryant get minutes, because these are guys that even if they don't contribute right away, they may have an effect on the future of how this team goes. And that's the beauty of preseason. That's why preseason for NBA and NFL are truly my favorite things to see, just because of the fact that guys are not only trying to win jobs, but it also is a testament to the future when you're a team like the Spurs, who have so much draft capital, who have put so much stock into the future. Like, the reason they don't go out and trade for another star is not because I don't think guys were available. It's because I think the Spurs truly care about longevity, right? Like when you have a star in Victor Wembanyama, who's already one of the best at his position, and he's still so young, you want to think about, okay, you have the luxury of thinking about 10 years from now, 5 years from now, as opposed to the next couple years where you're trying to get the most out of them in their prime. Victor's nowhere close to his prime. So I think that these preseason games for us, I think for the next few years, honestly, while we have all these different young guys, they're major. And Indiana is a great test for that. Let us know in the comments what you think. Do you see our San Antonio Spurs remaining undefeated in the preseason? Do you see them being able to lean on those guys I mentioned off the bench to be able to get them to a lead? Because one thing we've seen from the Spurs, and you see it from the Pacers too when you watch them, they care about these games a lot. This is not, oh, this is just preseason, don't go full throttle. This don't matter. No, both of these benches, they care a lot about this. And their starters care as well. Like you see Wemby getting the most out of those 16 minutes. You see Siakam getting the most out of those 15 minutes. So this is going to be a very, very exciting game. And again, two teams that have been undefeated so far in the preseason. So it means something to them. This game matters. And you love a preseason game that matters because we know for a fact for these young guys, for these guys trying to make the roster, for these guys trying to prove that they belong in the NBA, not even just for the Spurs roster, right? Some of these guys will end up on other rosters. We see that a lot where Spurs give a young guy just a little shot, a little chance to shine, and they get picked up somewhere else, and then they end up doing great, great things. So this game is extremely exciting. Let us know in the comments how excited you are to see our San Antonio Spurs get a chance to get it done again against the Indiana Pacers team that has shown an ability to make it to the playoffs consistently, that has star potential. Again, we do not have the injury report, so we do not know who will be playing tonight, but it'll be really, really exciting to see how we match up against a guy like Siakam. If he does play, he played last game. We're assuming he's going to play this game, much like Victor Wembanyama played last game, but I have no inside knowledge or information on if he is actually going to play or not, but it's easy to speculate. It's exciting to speculate because regardless of who does play tonight, we know that these young guys are going to come out ready to ball. We know that these young guys that we named and mentioned have something to prove. Like Pacers have some dogs at rookie that have something to prove as well. There's a guy in a Ray J Dennis. Yes, I had to double check to make sure I wasn't messing myself up. But Ray J Dennis, he's a name you should look out for because he's a guy that can score in bunches. A rookie as well that's looking to prove his spot on the Pacers. The Pacers are another team that's deep, another team that kind of is solidified because they've already found ways to make it to the playoffs, to find success. And now that they're starting to get healthy as well, it's going to be very interesting how they decide to move forward with their bench and their rotations, much like the Spurs. So there's a lot of question marks in this game. There's a lot of reasons to be intrigued in this game. There's a lot of reasons for excitement. And you let us know all those reasons in the comments. Again, if you have not subscribed, make sure you do that because we are giving you guys content each and every day of the week. The season is quickly approaching. We are just days away from another Spurs season, and we get to see healthy players playing together. We get to truly see what our new coach can do with all of these different pieces, right? It's a chess game. It's a puzzle, and we're so excited to see all of these things come together. And if you look at what we've seen so far, it's easy to understand why we're feeling like we headed back to the playoffs, why Spurs fans are feeling like this is the time we get back to the playoffs, but why the nation, right? Why national media is looking at the Spurs and saying they might be right there. A healthy Spurs team is a dangerous Spurs team, and we get to see some of that depth tonight when we take on the Indiana Pacers. Again, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Make sure you hit that doorbell to be notified every single time we post, baby. Go Spurs, go. I am your host, Bryan Colbert Jr. here with Spurs Digest. Let's get this win today, baby, because the season is quickly approaching.